No. I did something wrong. Alright, we're gonna go narrow here. It didn't happen the way I wanted it to. I'm only live here in case people happen to see that I'm live. But it's going to get posted. This is what keeps approaching me. Oh. 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 He's been laying on the floor and sliding towards me. Like that painting where you're like the angels or whatever reaching. I don't know. I'm not well. As you can see, like nothing is well. Like my eyes look sicker than they've ever looked. This area is dry and disgusting, and my skin just, I don't look healthy. I don't feel healthy. This has kind of been my position for days. And I've been eating a ton of apples, like a disgusting quantity. Oh, hey, Max. A disgusting quantity of apples. And grapes and tea. Herbal tea. I don't have much of an... Oh, and popcorn. It seems to be like my favorite fall foods, those three. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's well balanced, but also it depends on what my stomach can tolerate, to be honest. I am just really incredibly sick, and I am not sure what lies ahead. I'm waiting for results of a pretty big situation. And as much as I'm not actually like actively stressing about it, I notice that when I think about it, my anxiety that's already very peaked lately. There's a lot of life, health, family, surgical, you name it, issues going on, and I'm feeling overwhelmed, and some days like I'm sinking. I'm working on myself a lot in therapy to deal with managing the stress and the anxiety, all while not letting certain things deter me. My health has done quite the 180 in which it deters me. Not deters me, but hinders my ability to function as I used to. Oxygen and all, it's just my anxiety has gotten much worse. Not every day, but the earlier I go out, when it's less crowded, the better my experience and the energy is for me, because it's calmer, it's slower paced. I'm starting to stress over the fact that we are coming upon the holidays, and my family must want to kill me because we do like a sibling exchange, if you will. So my two brothers, my husband, and we all switched names, and I was being extra annoying this morning. A website that randomly generates the names, you get an email of who you got, and then ideally, what I wanted my siblings to do was just put their top 3 wish list items so that, they're going to buy like the day before, and that's fine. But for me, if I could just get it done nowish, in the next 2 weeks before the holiday chaos begins, I like to essentially be done gift shopping by like November 11th, 12th. Usually that's when the best deals are. So after that, it's like whatever. But I cannot deal with going out in public. Like, I'll go out at 7 a.m. at Black Friday to places like Hallmark and Anthropologie. That's about it. Those places just have the best deals, and I usually am shopping for myself at that point. I'm not actually shopping for people because I'm done. We have been very financially skint this year, so it's just, we're not doing friend gifts. We are just doing siblings and parents. We are doing like a cute coupley thing in which it might get filmed because it's kind of a cute little gift idea for people on a budget. Also, I pride myself on gift giving. And by priding myself on gift giving, I basically stalk people until I find the ultimate gift, or the gift that will only enhance their lives. So yeah, that's essentially how I do it. And I really need my brothers to list their top 3 along with my husband, who told me he's boycotting me because I was overly proactive. But I just don't know what my health future holds for the remainder of the year. And I don't want to get to a point where I have nothing done. I need to be semi-done or done by the 11th, 12th of November. That's just my random usual cutoff. The only gift that we'll be able to purchase late will be one gift that I have to go into the city to get, and in reality, I will probably just get it on a hospital visit day or one of my million appointments in November or December. I'm not stressed about that. That gift is the only gift that's not going anywhere. And since I have to be in that area in general, it's practical to walk in and grab the one thing I need and leave. Everything else, and we're hosting this year. Since we're hosting the holidays this year, I just want to make it special because, my brother's first Christmas without both of their parents. And, going to my mom's is quite far. And right now with my health, the idea of more than like a 30-minute drive seems a little exorbitant unless it's to the doctor's and I actually have to go to those appointments. I'm just not well. Like, I'm not even well enough to do my own driving that far. My lungs are very problematic. I have severe inflammation all over. My stomach has C. diff again, so it's been a terrible ride. A terrible, 2 weeks or so. I need. The rest of me is just not doing well, and my anxiety has its moments. My anxiety is either very well managed and, having therapy one day a week where it's a specific day. If it gets moved or has to be canceled, I tend to have a really rough week. One of those situations is this week. My appointment got rescheduled from Monday to Thursday. And that has really thrown my week off because I had done a ton of writing to talk about. I'm an OCD patient where I write notes, I write feelings, I write moments, things happen that I can talk about, see if I could have responded differently for future, or if I'm crazy for my thoughts and feelings, and things that are plaguing me in my life. I notice myself kind of drifting here. I'm not feeling well, but we don't have heat at the moment, until the part comes in for the heater. We had a similar issue last year where right around the winter snowy season, the heater was just like, nah, I'm not gonna start. I have a floor space heater, and to be honest, the sheer idea of having to turn this off and get into bed and, 5 to 6 hours of no heat and being under my blankets just sounds absolutely terrible. I like it cold for sleeping, but it's already so cold and my bones and joints hurt so much. I'm just not feeling well, and I've had a lot of stomach upset today, insane vomits. It's just the C. diff and the gastroparesis. It's like a combination of torture. And to be perfectly honest, I didn't think things through when I decided I would have some Brussels sprouts with my cauliflower gnocchi. I did cauliflower gnocchi because it's nice and soft and smushy. I don't have to eat a lot. I feel pretty full because it's just kind of a denser food for me. And my husband loves how dense it is. He loves hearty. I love lots of little foods that I can pick at. He says he hasn't actually seen me. Hi, Jared. He says that he hasn't actually seen me eat a traditional meal in months. I am 32. How old are you? He hasn't seen me eat a proper meal in months. Now, by proper, I mean a big meal, normal size. For me, everything is 17. Are you 17 and graduated from high school, or 17 and a senior currently in high school? Everything with my illness. I have cystic fibrosis, if you are new to the channel. Oh, congratulations. Are you in college currently? So I just like to pick at a lot of little things. I like tapas style meals. So that's what I tend to eat when I'm eating. But so tonight I did that, and I made a really nice Brussels sprout, which I love. They don't really love me. They really hate my gastroparesis. And I just didn't think it through when I was like, oh, if I eat 7 of the Brussels sprouts, I should probably be fine. No. I should have. It triggered my anxiety. And then because the gastroparesis doesn't allow things to move through properly, it stopped my stomach from feeling like I had eaten anything or digested. Oh, okay, cool. So when you don't digest, it kind of just sits there and is telling you, hey, you're still hungry, so you should probably eat. And this was like an hour or two after I had eaten. So I was like just eating everything under the sun because I was so hungry. This is a chronic issue. I eat a ton despite my stature and my proportions. But this instance, because so what happens with the gastroparesis, this is essentially how I like to kind of classify it, is that you'll eat, everything will be fine, slow emptying, but it will still work just slower. And then if you eat something that your body does not love, your stomach cannot digest or handle, or it's just like an overload, what tends to happen in my body is that I just start wanting to eat everything. Like I feel so nutrient dense, I'm just starving, I can't get full. So I eat and I eat and I eat. And this could be like I ate one wrong thing in the morning and I eat and I eat and I eat throughout the whole day. And then I could throw up every single thing, whether it be 1 hour's time or like 8 hours time from the moment that my body was trying to process that one food, and I will just throw it all up. Sometimes it's honestly like one of those moments where you're like, oh my God, I feel a million times better. And I know that sounds crazy, but your body just triggers it. And, you know, you're along for the ride. You're along for the body's ride. And you're just praying for the best and least aggressive upset. So that was like me tonight. And my blood sugar tends to run fairly low. So some nights when I'm feeling incredibly sick and before I get into bed, I will have an apple, or right now it's apple season, so I will have an apple. And I do that just so I can keep my blood sugar stable throughout the night while I sleep. The worst thing is waking up in the middle of the night convulsing and having to crawl to food because you're so sick and your blood sugar is so low. It's just a lot of work and maintenance. It's more nuanced maintenance that you're all over the place, and you know, if one thing goes wrong, the body starts triggering different areas. So like my stomach, which I believe is the brain of the body, decided it wasn't going to work properly, which then started making me feel uncomfortable, which then started the anxiety, and then the fight or flight mode happened, and then it triggered the reactions of the voices in my head and just my anxiety and my dizziness, and all of these things were just kind of compilating on top of me. And then, of course, I have the moment where it all comes to a head and I throw up. And then I feel better, but then I go through treatments and then I'm starving. And you sometimes develop a fear of eating because sometimes you could eat the same food for 100 days in a row, and day 101 your body's like not having it. So I really do try to stay very planned timing on everything I do and eat so that my body at least gets a sense of, you know, it's going to be fed at this time and this time, this time, this time during the day, so that there's some sort of semblance to the digestive process. I practice most of the time intermittent fasting. I try to give myself anywhere between 10 and 14 hours of not eating, sometimes 16, but 10 and 14 just to let my body digest. I never have an issue if I need to pick up an apple and have an apple or a piece of fruit before bed. It will work with my blood sugars to keep them stable, but also If I have to break my intermittent fast and have a piece of fruit, I still won't feel guilty about that, knowing that if it's for my blood sugar's sake, I need it. I just have been in a lot lately and doing a lot, and I'm feeling myself really wear down. And it's just like I feel the heaviness in my chest. I need to get on my oxygen. And I want to sleep, but I want this heat. I would get a new heated blanket, but it seems to break every season before the end of the season because I wear them out. And of course, I like the more expensive ones because they tend to just be like thicker and softer, so they're like warmer. And Target is having a sale, but I don't want to spend another $50 on I don't want to spend an annual $50 on electric blankets, even though if I had one right now, I would be in my bed and probably sound asleep until this part comes in to fix the heater. I'm just feeling so, I mean, like, I look terrible. I know this. I'm very aware of how bad I look. Every time I actually make eye contact with myself in the mirror, I'm like, whew, rough day for that girl. But what are you gonna do? Running out the clock is how I feel sometimes when you're sick like this. And my arthritis, oh my dear. My arthritis is at an all-time terrible level. I keep telling my husband it's October, and I'm already peeling all over and having dry patches all over. I'm terrified for the actual dead of winter. Basically, my skin, my face is just going to be a giant scab. I'm already so very worn out and so very tired and just genuinely sick as a, I don't know, sick as a dog. I was going to say sick as a bug, but it's snug as a bug. I'm sorry, I'm so tired. I'm actually starting to feel my medicine hitting me. So I take like a slew full of night meds, but sometimes it takes like 2 to 3 hours to really kick in. And I took the meds around 9. I have no idea what time it is at this point, but they're starting to finally hit me because I'm finding it hard to fight to keep my eyes open. I think I'm going to go. I don't know if this is worthy of posting because I said nothing educational, nothing informative, and that's kind of like my thing is educating and sharing information and, you know, being helpful instead of just complaining. I don't even know if I would view this whole video as me complaining, just me giving you an update as to where I am. Anytime anyone has seen me lately, it has just been me on the floor. And sadly, it's where I am most comfortable. And I know that if I'm going to pass out or fall or whatever, I just have so little to fall. Like, I'm already here, so I don't have to, like, injure myself in the process. It's been a really rough 2018. I'm struggling with a lot of stuff. And as soon as I actually have more detail, like more science detail, results, and more of an education, I can share more and talk about how it will affect me specifically, but also how it affects the community, the CF community, because these are the things that I think are very interesting. But I'm actually falling asleep talking You guys, I'm gonna go. I have 2 cats sitting around me ready for bed, so once I get up and get myself moving in that direction, I'm going to be surrounded by beautiful cat fur and love and cuddles and kisses, and I can't wait. So yeah, thanks for joining me, the 2 of you that did pop on here, which is kind of exciting. Sorry I'm not like amazing at responding and talking like I usually am. I'm just not well right now, and it's just like not worth filming. I don't think, at least not a lot of effort should be put into filming this, given that I am sick, given that this is life, and that I am just exhausted and worn out. Instead of perky and energetic. So, I just want to come back with a little energy and a little perk. I just don't know when that's gonna be. I've been waiting for it for months. I've really had quite a quick decline in my health. So I am taking everything one day at a time and trying to incorporate all facets into my life, not just health, not just wellness, not just prescriptions, but also mindfulness and meditation and yoga and lessons I've learned in therapy. And it is tedious, but it's only to better me, for those around me, for myself, for my head, the whole deal. So I'm gonna go for real before I just fall asleep right here, because I'm 2 seconds from it. And thanks for joining me. I'm gonna try to keep this up on YouTube, but if it lets me load, that's a whole other issue. Anyway, bye guys. Thanks for sitting with me for 27 minutes of probably incoherent speaking.